Haji Salim denied bail, sent to jail. Podda Bridge had to be redesigned to make it proper, says PM. BNP to revoke Digital Act if voted to power Fokru. BNP eventually contests polls, Kadir. Assalamu alaikum. This is Afranjum welcoming you all to Evening News. You have just heard the headlines. Now let's move on to the details. A special court in Dhaka today sent Awami League lawmaker Haji Mohammad Salim to jail after his surrender before the court. Dhaka Special Judge Court 7 passed the order. Haji Salim surrendered before the court and sought bail in the case. He submitted 2 other petitions, one for providing him proper medical treatment and the other to provide him first-class division facilities in jail. The prosecution opposed the bail petition but raised no objection on the other 2 petitions. The MP was sent to jail following his surrender. Earlier on February 10th this year, the High Court released the full text of a verdict directing Salim to surrender to the trial court in 30 days in connection with the case. The High Court last year upheld a lower court's verdict where Salim was sentenced to 10 years in prison in a corruption case filed by the Anti-Graft Agency in 2007. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has asked for appropriate development planning taking into consideration the features of different regions. The Premier said this while addressing Delta Governance Council's first meeting. She said the government took Delta Plan 2100 to secure the people of this Delta and providing them a better life and asked authorities concerned to take planned steps for its implementation. Sheikh Hasina added that any planned step could solve easily any difficult task. The Premier particularly asked the authorities concerned to lay an extra emphasis on exploring the blue economy, utilizing the country's vast maritime resources to boost the national economy.
পদ্মা ব্রিজটা যখন হয় আমি কিন্তু ব্রিজকে ছোট করতে দেইনি নদীর যতটা ওই জায়গায় চওড়া সেটা মাথায় রেখে তারপর বাফার জোন রেখেই কিন্তু আমরা ব্রিজটা করেছি যে ব্রিজটা সবচেয়ে দীর্ঘ হয়েছে কিন্তু যমুনার ব্রিজটা কিন্তু এটাকে 4 কিলোমিটারে কমিয়ে আনা হয় আমি মনে করি এটা ছিল ভুল সিদ্ধান্ত
BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir today came up with a pledge that if they are voted to power, they will revoke the Digital Security Act, that what he said gives the law enforcement agencies the power to crack down on the critics of the government and dispel online dissent. Addressing a discussion at the National Press Club this morning, he also issued a warning that the government is trying to formulate another stringent law to establish its full control on all forms of media. The BNP Secretary General said the Digital Security Act has become the government's and ruling party activists' preferred weapon to muzzle critics and stymie their freedom of expression, especially in cyberspace.
গণতন্ত্রের যে মৌলিক বিষয়গুলো সেই বিষয়গুলোকে তারা নিয়ন্ত্রণ করছে সেটা নিয়ন্ত্রণ করতে গিয়ে সবার আগে যে মাধ্যম থেকে নিয়ন্ত্রণ করাটা তাদের জন্য জরুরি তারা মনে করেছে যে গণমাধ্যমকে নিয়ন্ত্রণ করতে হবে যে আইনগুলো এখন তৈরি করা হচ্ছে এই আইনগুলো প্রত্যেকটি যথেষ্ট এই দেশের গণমাধ্যমের স্বাধীনতাকে বা প্রেস ফ্রিডমকে পুরোপুরিভাবে নিয়ন্ত্রণ করার জন্য
Claiming that BNP will contest the ensuing general elections, Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir today said BNP is now trying to fish in the troubled water, fearing impending poll debacle. He came up with the remarks while addressing a discussion today on the founding anniversary of the ruling party's fishers wing named Motshajibi League. Qadir said Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina will not resign in response to the demand of BNP. Not Sheikh Hasina, rather top BNP leaders should resign from the party for their failure to launch movement and the elections, added Qadir.
BNP'র কথা শেখ হাসিনা পদত্যাগ করবে নির্বাচনে যাবেন না কতবারও বলেছেন সময় আসলে যাবেন এখন নির্বাচনকে প্রশ্নবিদ্ধ করে গোলা পানিতে মাছ শিকার করার অপচেষ্টা বিএনপি আজকে মাঠে নেমেছে।
Sylhet residents struggling with the worst flooding in a decade and a half may get some respite in a day or two as the water level has begun going down. Heavy rains and the onrush from upstream had triggered floods that damaged homes in several parts of the district and intensified food and drinking water crisis. According to the government agency, flood situation won't worsen any further as the water levels are going down. However, the flooding may worsen in the low-lying areas of Sunamganj in the next few days. Around 700 kilometers of 153 roads in Sylhet and Sunamganj have been submerged due to flood as the water of the river Shurma and Kushiara is still flowing above the danger level. A woman and her 2 minor children were killed at their own residence in Belabo of Norshindi. The bodies of Rohima Begum, wife of Giyasuddin Sheikh, and their son Rabbi Sheikh and daughter Rakiba Sheikh were recovered from Babla village in the morning. The local police said the 3 might have been killed following a conflict over disputed land. The assailants might have entered the house at wee hours of today and stabbed the wife to death and strangled the 2 children and fled the scene. Police said they will start the investigation into the incident once a complaint is filed in this regard. International news. India has decided to reduce the central excise duty on petrol by 8 per litre and on diesel by 6 per litre. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman unveiled the decision. The move will reduce the price of petrol by 9.5 per litre and of diesel by 7 per litre. She added it will have a revenue implication of around 1 lakh crore per year for the government. The finance minister said in a series of tweets. Sitharaman also urged state governments to implement a similar cut. Cricket. Bangladesh vowed to come out with all guns blazing to win the 2-match series as they take on Sri Lanka in the second and final game tomorrow. The match will be played at 10 a.m. at Shere Bangla National Stadium. The first match between the 2 sides in Chattogram ended in a draw after Bangladesh raised the hope of winning the game. It was a huge disappointment for Bangladesh considering the match scenario, but Captain Mominul Haq urged his side to turn the despair into joy, winning the second test. Before ending, let's have a look on the headlines once again. Haji Selim denied bail, sent to jail. Podda Bridge had to be redesigned to make it proper, says PM. BNP to revoke Digital Act if voted to power. Fokul BNP eventually contest polls Kadir. And that's all from the newsroom for now. To know updates, videos of this bulletin, visit our website www.ntvbd.com. Besides, visit our YouTube and verified Facebook page for updates over NTV's all popular programs and bulletins. Our next bulletin, Shondhar Khobor, will be aired in Bangla at 7:30 p.m. Thank you for being with us. Have a good time.